we have we will have three presentations today. One presentation will give you an overview of challenges pertaining to urban overheating in Europe. It's developed around the report produced by the World Bank, sort of to respond to add in the quest to address climate change, the adaptation dimension, because a lot of resources and energy has been spent on climate mitigation, but maybe not enough on adaptation. And then the presentation will discuss some of the issues and some recommendations on how, even in this programming period, we can scale up adaptation approaches. We will have a very nice presentation prepared by the Vice Mayor of the city of Iași, Daniel Juravle, who will go through the ambitions, the green ambitions of the city, including its recent elaboration of the action plan for transition to climate neutrality, and then the accession into the M100 mirror mission hub in Romania, a hub that has 13 cities that have assumed to make the transition to climate neutrality by 2030 or 2035. And then we will finish with the cherry on the cake. Lucian Roșu, the Vice President of CIVICA, will present a joint mitigation adaptation project that was developed by civil society, implemented with financial support from the private sector, and then with financial and, let's say, administrative support from the city of Iași. It's already sort of implemented, and then a project that will be scaled up in Iași, but a project that we think can be easily scaled up in virtually every urban context in the world. And with that being said, I think we're 4 minutes in, and then we can start with the first set of presentations. So without further ado, I will ask my colleague Oana Franț to give you a presentation on some of the challenges pertaining to urban overheating, and then set the stage for the second and third presentation. Oana, just so you know, like on my side, this doesn't show up, shows up relatively small. I don't know if I'm the only one with the issue.
Let me see.
Can you go full screen? Okay.
Is it
I
okay?
think this is better. Yeah, this is better. Over to you.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining. I will take you today through some of the main findings from our World Bank analysis on urban overheating. We will look at what cities are facing, what's already working, and how integrated mitigation adaptation approaches can make our actions stronger and more efficient. Why we are talking about this today? Europe is now the fastest warming continent in the world, heating up about twice as fast as the global average. The consequences for cities are severe. They might face and are already facing intensified heat waves, severe storms, or flooding. That means adaptation isn't something for the future. It's something we need to act on now, because without stronger measures, climate-related damages could cost cities nearly 400 billion euros by 2050. Because 3/4 of Europeans live in cities, our biggest opportunities for action and for protection are urban. Now, if you look at the map on the slide, you can see how a 2-degree scenario could hit Southern and Eastern Europe the hardest, turning many of the areas into heat stress zones. The core issue we address today is urban overheating, which significantly reshapes the thermal landscape of European cities. That's because concrete and buildings trap and re-emit heat, while trees and vegetation are often missing from the cities. The consequences are serious. The 2022 heat wave alone is estimated to cause 70,000 preventable deaths in Europe. Moreover, the extreme heat pushes up energy demand for cooling, putting pressure on power grids and air quality. So we're not talking only about an environmental issue anymore, it's a public health and development issue. The EU has been proactive in addressing climate change, but most of it still leans toward mitigation. The policy framework for addressing these challenges spans multiple levels of governance. We have the EU adaptation strategy, which builds resilience and mainstreams adaptation. The European Green Deal, which funds mitigation but lacks defined adaptation goals. And the national and the local strategies, where cities are often the ones that lead on practical measures, but they lack a shared adaptation framework. Still, local administrations remain best placed to map and respond to urban heat. Now about the funding gap. Mitigation efforts like reducing greenhouse gas emission benefit from clear goals, have measurable metrics, and strong political support. Also, only for this programming period alone, we had 118 billion euros in funding. Adaptation, on the other hand, is underfunded. It's harder to quantify, and the benefits are harder to quantify. There are few metrics for success. Without clear adaptation targets, cities struggle to properly address adaptation needs and allocate resources effectively. The paradox we are seeing is that while mitigation protects the future, adaptation protects communities today, and both are essential. What opportunity we have here? Joint mitigation adaptation approaches that offer a powerful solution to this funding gap. By linking interventions, cities achieve dual benefits at marginal additional cost, addressing both climate causes and consequences simultaneously. If we are already investing in solar rooftops or bike paths, we could design them to also reduce urban heat, as the extra cost is marginal and the benefits are
Eu sunt
double.
la Iași acum. Te rog frumos.
We surveyed some of the cities that are committed to the 100 climate neutral and smart cities by 2030 mission. And the survey shows that there is awareness, it's growing around the adaptation, but the money isn't there yet. Cities underinvest in adaptation compared to mitigation. Still, the urgency is clear. Around 42% of respondents have experienced heat waves causing losses in the past 5 years. And only half of the city surveyed had dedicated budget allocation for climate investments. And of those with dedicated budgets, only 40% had allocated more than 10 million euros for such intervention. Still, there is progress. Most have climate units in place, and 2/3 have already considered coupling adaptation measures to plan mitigation measures to achieve higher impact. Also, nearly 9 out of 10 cities are part of European networks, like the Covenant of Mayors or Eurocities, showing strong collaboration even with limited funds. We also have some success stories. They are inspiring examples demonstrating innovative adaptation initiatives. There are cities that are appointing chief heat officers, investing in cooling infrastructure, and mobilizing communities to co-create cooler and healthier urban spaces. We have the example of Copenhagen that introduced since 2010 over 40 green roofs to support biodiversity and mitigate temperature rises across the city. Also, after the heat wave in 2003, Paris has built a network of over 1,400 cool island spaces These spaces include parks, pools, and museums, and they are mapped via an app for guiding residents in under 10 minutes to a relief area. We have also the example of Iași in Romania that demonstrates how nature-based and community-led solutions can scale adaptation locally. My colleagues from CIVICA will talk about the Urban Oasis program. Now, to scale these efforts, cities and regions need a few key shifts. We need to find ways to measure adaptation success. We need to make adaptation a global, European, and national priority and make it policy focus equal to mitigation. In the short term and medium term, we need to couple adaptation measure to mitigation measures. We need to strengthen early warning system and expand heat health preparedness, like we have in the report some examples from France and Portugal. Create peer-to-peer platforms for cities to share innovative practices. And we need to provide incentives for individuals and businesses to internalize some of the negative externalities of urban overheating. We face a critical timeline. Without action, by 2040, Europe could face 94,000 additional heat-related deaths every year. So cities need clear adaptation frameworks, measurable goals, and the resources to make adaptation mainstream. Thank you so much, and I will let my colleagues continue with their presentations.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Oana. A great presentation. Maybe you can put in the chat link to the full report on urban overheating in Europe for those that may be interested to go through more details. I would like to introduce now the Vice Mayor of the City of Iași, Mr. Daniel Juravle, and we thank him very much for making the time to present during this session. Iași is a city that has recently finalized its action plan for transition to climate neutrality. It has the ambition to become climate neutral by 2035, but at the same time, it's sort of trying to use the mitigation resources that it has to its disposal and it can access to also scale up adaptation interventions. Mr. Juravle, over to you, with many thanks again for agreeing to present in the session today.
Thank you, Mr. Heroiu. Hello, everyone. My name is Daniel Juravle. I am the Deputy Mayor of City of Iași, and I am delighted to share with you today our vision for a greener, smarter, and we can say a more resilient city. Over the next few minutes, I will take you through the initiatives, partnerships, and some ambitions that are shaping the future of our city, and show how our city is turning sustainability and innovation into concrete action. Iași is here to share how we are shaping a sustainable and a resilient future. We truly believe that innovation, sustainability, and inclusion must guide every step we take in our city. For us, this is not just about implementing projects. It's about changing our mindset and building a long-term vision for the kind of city we want to become. We believe that the future belongs to cities that understand the responsibility and act with purpose. And we think Iași is one of them. We know that growth and sustainability must go hand in hand as partners. Our vision is one where every citizen, every innovation, and every initiative contributes to building a resilient community. Basically, we start by rethinking the public transportation. We continue with expanding green spaces and modernizing our energy system. Because in the end, it's not just about infrastructure, it's about a mindset of progress, care, and shared responsibility for the generations to come. My next slide is about we understand. We understand that the future isn't some distant concept. It begins with the choices we make today, every day. Basically, every step we take now shapes how our city will look, feel, and thrive tomorrow. And our city, the city of Iași, embraces this change with confidence because we know that resilience, innovation, and sustainability are not luxuries. They are necessities for our citizens and for the generations to come. And that's the reason that we are acting today. And we are investing in clean transport. We are expanding our green spaces, and we are transforming how is the energy produced and how we are using energy. And I think that it's a process, basically. Step by step, we are turning this vision into action. We take some steps already, and the path to a greener, smarter Iași has already begun, and these are the important steps that define it. Through modern public transport, innovative district heating, and our active role in the M100 National Hub, we are laying the foundation for a truly sustainable city. These things are not isolated efforts, but they are interconnected pieces of one shared vision. And this vision is transforming Iași into a city that grows responsibly and sustainably. Basically, each initiative, either if we talk about mobility, energy, or green infrastructure, brings us closer to a resilient, climate-neutral urban model. We spoke about mobility, and in every city, basically, in every city from everywhere, mobility is the heart of urban life. When we change the way people move, we change the way the city lives and breathes. And Iași has already begun this journey to 100 eco-friendly public transport system. With our new electric buses and modern trams, we are cutting emissions, improving comfort, and I think that we are showing that sustainability and efficiency can move forward together. This is just the first step to a fully green transport network, because our vision is simple but powerful. A city where every journey is clean, efficient, and sustainable, powered by innovation and care for the generation to come. Beside the trams, we have 60 new electrical buses. And Iași is taking real measurable steps to a cleaner mobility by replacing part of its fossil fuel fleet with 69 fully electric buses. These vehicles between 10 and 12 meters long are fully equipped with intelligent transport system, are built to meet the city's unique topography, and daily mobility needs. When you will come in Iași, you'll see that the topography of the city, it's a little bit different than the other cities from the world. To support this transformation, basically we created a complete charging infrastructure. We have 25 slow charging stations and 8 fasting charging points, 1 in the depot and 7 along the main routes. I have to say that the value of this change in the public transportation is over 38 million euros. We spoke about buses, now about the new trams. Trams have always been part of Iași's story, and now they are becoming part of its sustainable future. We brought 50 new modern trams to the city, built by PESA or Bozancaia, all low floor and fully equipped with intelligent transport systems, exactly like the buses. These new vehicles increase capacity, cut energy consumption, and offer a smoother, more comfortable ride for everyone. The investment in this change is over 100 million euros. My favorite part is about the green spaces for a healthier city. And I believe that a truly sustainable city isn't just clean and efficient. It's alive, it's balanced, and deeply connected with nature. In Iași, we are reshaping public spaces into greener, more vibrant areas where people can breathe, connect, maybe feel that they are part of their city. From major park developments to small community oases, each project brings nature closer to everyday life. And these green spaces don't just beautify the city, they are purify the air, strengthen community bonds, and the feeling that well-being is everywhere. And that's the reason that this is my favorite part of our development in the city. We have an example here. The CA Rossetti project perfectly shows how urban regeneration can enhance community well-being. It has turned a once ordinary area into more than 16,000 square meters of green and leisure spaces, modern, accessible, and it's open for everyone. The park, after the transformation, offers sports areas, playgrounds, bike parking, urban furniture, and even Wi-Fi, and creating a true hub for a daily life and relaxation. Our neighborhood Green Oasis program. This program, sustainability, also means empowering neighborhoods and bring new life to forgotten corners of the city. Through the neighborhood Green Oasis program, Iași is basically transforming abandoned or degraded urban spaces into vibrant, community-friendly green areas. These micro oases offer shade, social gathering spots, and increased biodiversity, improving daily life for thousands of residents. The investment of this project it's over 2.1 million euros. Meantime, I have to say that, and this is my my project, my personal project, Iași is proud to be the city that has secured the largest cogeneration funding in Romania, with over 89 million euros invested. This milestone underscores our leadership at the national level in energy transition and urban resilience. It reflects our commitment to taking climate and energy responsibility seriously, but not just for today, for the future generations. It's really important. The cogeneration is more than technology. It's a strategic step to a smarter, greener, and more efficient urban energy system. Through this investment, basically we are reinforcing Iași's vision of combining innovation, sustainability, and comfort for all our citizens. I will continue with the modern sustainable district heating for Iași, and because we are modernizing this district with two major projects. At CET 1 Iași, we are installing new cogeneration units, while the second plant, CET 2 Holboca, is being converted from coal to natural gas with investments of close to 39 million euros. And for the CET 2 Holboca, over 50 million euros. It's important to know that these new systems are modern, flexible, and prepared for future energy transitions. And I have to say that this includes hydrogen, which is probably the future of many things. They ensure energy security and comfort for tens of thousands of homes, schools, hospitals, and businesses across by the city. And by 2028, over 80% of district heating will come from cogeneration and renewable sources, which is really good for the city and for the climate day by day. Who is involved? The municipality cannot do everything alone. I keep saying that. Our role is to set the framework and foster meaningful partnerships. Building a sustainable and a resilient city, it's a collective effort where businesses, academic institutions, NGOs, and citizens all play an essential part. Collaboration is the key. It transforms ideas into tangible impact. Basically, I believe that every initiative, no matter the scale, contributes to a greener, smarter city. This approach led us to highlight three main groups of partners: the private sector, the universities, and the civil society. And I will try to talk about each of them in the next few minutes. Business environment, the private sector, excuse me. The private sector can play a leading role in driving green innovation and building a resilient city, as demonstrated by the rooftop garden concept that you can see in the picture. This project delivers multiple benefits. It lowers pollution and CO2 emissions, increases urban biodiversity, provides direct access to nature in the heart of Iași, and basically supports climate change adaptation through sustainable design. When you're gonna visit Iași, I am gonna show you this beautiful rooftop. The second one, the academic environment. Alexandru Ioan Cuza University is leading by example in a sustainable urban development. Building B has been modernized to improve energy efficiency, including a new roof spanning over 7,000 square meters. As you can see in the picture, the installation of the first solar panels on campus marks a significant step to renewable energy adoption. And I think it's really important for the city to support this kind of projects. Here we are to civil society. Iași is active and engaged. Iași, I am proud to say that Iași has a dynamic NGO sector and proactive civil society, both of each are essential partners in our city's transformation. Among them, the CIVICA Association stands out and actively shaping innovation and sustainability initiatives across the community. Its flagship project include Climate on Iași, the program for civic engagement and innovation, civic and media education, the Chiric urban natural area, and cities for people. All these initiatives demonstrate how community involvement can turn ideas into tangible impact, and I have to say thank you for that, because they are really important for the city. In the same time, I am proud that Iași collaborates with the World Bank, bringing value, because the World Bank is bringing valuable global expertise to our city. Basically, their support helps us develop local and metropolitan strategies, including identifying funding opportunities and shaping projects. They assist us in advancing climate action, supporting planning, investments, and the work of the Net Zero Coalition. And I have to say thank you for that, because also they are really, really important for the city. Because we are keep talking about ambition, and probably this is my role here. We cannot do anything by ourselves, and together with the metropolitan area, Iași is fully committed to implementing the action plan for transition to climate neutrality. This plan sets a clear path for transforming our city into a sustainable, energy efficient, smart, and climate neutral urban center by, let's say, 2035. I would love to say 2030, but let's be somehow relaxed and say 2035. This is more than a goal. It is a long-term commitment to resilience and innovation and a higher quality of life for our citizen. Our ongoing work in transport, energy, and green spaces lays the foundation for achieving this vision. Also, being part of the national hub M100 connects Iași to national and European best practices, ensuring we remain at the forefront of climate action. Importantly, Iași is distinguished as the city that established Romania's largest net zero city coalition, bringing together over 100 public and private organizations to collaborate for a greener future. We have some goals also. By 2035, Iași aims to reduce CO2 emissions by 81.44% compared to 2021, with fully offset of residual emissions achieved through innovative climate solutions. We are also promoting climate neutral behaviors and process in every sector, ensuring that sustainability is integrated into daily life and local or national governance. Every project we undertake contributes to a resilient, smart, and sustainable Iași, Also, as part of this vision, we already start to install over 340 smart eco islands to modernize urban waste management. These eco islands are secure with controlled access via digital cards for registered users, are fully equipped with GSM modules to transmit real-time data, and the system includes a database and integrated billing interface for efficient management. Also, the green-blue network, I will be short on this because it's somehow one of our goals. As part of the Iași Metropolitan Master Plan, we are implementing the green-blue network, a large-scale ecological infrastructure that integrates green corridors such as forests, parks, and agriculture areas with blue corridors like rivers, lakes, and lakes. Together, these corridors filter air and water, regulate the microclimate, and reduce climate-related risks. These initiatives shows how urban planning and nature can coexist, and creating a resilient, sustainable, and people-centered city, people-centered Iași, if you want. Where you can see Iași in 2035 as part of the Iași Metropolitan Master Plan, we are bringing the green-blue network to life. As I said, a large-scale ecological infrastructure that links our green corridors, like forest, parks, and agriculture areas with blue corridors, rivers, and lakes. Together, these spaces help filter our air and water. This network also provides continuous ecological connectivity while creating inviting spaces for recreation and active mobility for all our citizens. For me, this initiative is proof that thoughtful urban planning and nature can coexist, as I said earlier. In the end, I want to say thank you for all of you for attention and for being part of this discussion today. I truly believe that Iași's journey to a greener, smarter city, it's a shared effort, as I said. I want to say thank you to the businesses from our city, to universities, NGOs, and also to our citizens. And I'm proud to say that together we are shaping the future of our city. I look forward to continuing this journey and seeing Iași thrive as a greener, smarter, and climate neutral city. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Deputy Mayor Juravle. Excellent presentation. We also want to emphasize that Iași, as Mr. Juravle mentioned, has now one of the largest net zero coalitions in Europe. There's over 100 members from civil society, academia, private sector, and public administration involved, actively involved. And Lucian Roșu, who has two hats, as member of academia, member of civil society, will talk about one such project. So a project that we think it's quite impactful, highly scalable, type of joint mitigation adaptation approach that can mobilize and inspire communities. We definitely think it will inspire you. Project started as an initiative of CIVICA, one of the most active and dynamic civil society groups in Romania, with support from Iași City Hall, with involvement of members of academia, with financial support from the private sector. Obviously, we also think sort of this is the type of project that also merit support from EU funds. We see that some colleagues from the Regional Development Agency Northeast are connected. And then Mr. Juravle presented several projects that were financed with regional operational program funds. With that being said, Lucian, over to you, and then thank you for all those that have connected. We promise this will be well worth your time. Lucian, over to you.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you, Marcel, for a great introduction. While other speakers had their speeches, I noted some keywords of their presentations, and I would like to mention some of them: innovation, empowering communities, climate action, mitigation, adaptation, climate change, and research. And I just realized that our project managed to squeeze all these concepts in 600 square meters, which is actually quite amazing that we're doing so, because my presentation is related to playgrounds, and the playgrounds are a very important space for every city. But before I do so, our project, it is called Urban Oases, nature-based playgrounds for sustainable communities. My name is Lucian Roșu. I'm geographer, vice president of CIVICA, and I'm happy to share this presentation, and I say hi to my colleagues that are also present in this meeting. As already Deputy Mayor presented us, we are CIVICA, and we have a few important directions for the city. We're trying to improve quality of life in the city through empowering communities. So we are for open governance. We are interested in urban sustainability, and our projects confirm that. We're trying to create a civil society with a better capacity building, and we're doing civic education for the community. This is us in one of the last meetings that we had, I think in December. But one of our dreams is that we dream of Iași becoming the best city for raising children, because some of us are already parents, and we want Iași to be not only a climate resilient city, climate efficient city, we also want to be Iași, a city where you can raise your children. And for doing that, we focused on how can we make playgrounds to be better places for the city. So our project is about one small playground and the regeneration of this playground using nature-based solution, and in the same time involving community and growing community capacity for better sustainability. But in order to do that, it is a long road, and we are already in the second year of implementing the project. But if we finish, and we will finish in this year to implement this project, other communities and other local administration don't need to take the same steps that we already have done, because we already made the research, we already generated the methodology, and just they can scale the project that we have used. So our initial research was actually monitoring the playgrounds. It's interesting that Iași has 214 playgrounds, quite a lot. And most of the citizens inside Iași are within 5 minutes of the closest playground. But this is not enough. Because most of the playgrounds during the summertime are overheating. And they are overheating because they are not well designed. For example, the recycled rubber is amplifying the temperatures. And you can see here a photo I've done this summer, 44.2 degrees at 10 in the morning. And no children in that summer was in any of the parks that didn't have shadow or proper temperatures. And actually what we have observed is that most of the children prefer to stay in playgrounds. They have shadow, and there are not a lot of them. So what we have done in the first phase is that we have analyzed the most important environmental factors of the playgrounds. That means noise, that means tree canopy, that means temperatures, and also air quality. So in order to do that, We also used like satellitary images, Landsat data, and so on, but also a lot of field observations because I've been in all 214 playgrounds. I know all of them, and I can relate to all of them and how do they look. So the result of the initial phase of the quantitative research was, and it is, an interactive dashboard that can prioritize the interventions in playgrounds. And I'm not speaking about bringing new elements, but bringing shadow and bringing new heat-resilient infrastructure. And you can see here, most of the playgrounds in the west side of the city are very vulnerable to environmental conditions, and we need urgent interventions in them in order to be heat resilient during summertime. Otherwise, we will see children playing them only in the winter. Well, they don't like so much playing in the winter there. But also we had the qualitative research because we were interested in see what the people would like. How is the dream-like playground? And we had surveys, we had interviews with specialists, with local authorities, with a lot of the communities that we met, and also focus groups. And there are 4 priorities that we have managed to observe and research. It is safety, by far the most important one, and for every parent it's important to the playgrounds to be safe, clean. They have to be diverse, so age appropriate, and not the least, but very important, natural elements. And this is what most of the playgrounds, not in only in the city of Iași, but I believe in most of the cities in Eastern Europe, is lacking. We don't have shade, vegetation, and proper thermal comfort for the playgrounds. What's interesting is that most of the participants of the survey, 85% of them, are willing to actively participate in the transformation activities inside of the playground. So they would like to be part of the change. They would like to monitor, to plant, to have biodiversity initiatives. And this is quite an interesting thing that we could collect and see for the communities. We also observed that the peak usage time is in the afternoon. This is the period of the highest demand. Well, there are many factors at this time, but one of them is that is the time in the summertime when the temperatures are comfortable for the children. And most of the parents will travel the entire city to find the playground that has shadow and have green spaces. That means for the city of Iași, there are 5, maybe 10 playgrounds in the entire city that are usable during the summertime. So the rest of them are usable only early in the morning and late in the evening. So we want to change that. And in order to change that, we entered the second phase of our project. And the second phase of our project was to create a community for our playground. And in order to do that, we created the co-creation methodology and we started to build community. So we had community workshops. We took the children's voices to shape the design of our playground. So we asked them and we put them to draw and spoke with them how it is the playgrounds that they would like to have. And also we have grown the local leaders to take initiative in our playground. And we created some kind of ambassadors of the playgrounds, so people that will take care of the project. The third phase, it's our first implementation phase, which has already been done. We have done it together with the community. It's here. It's a very nice photo that I like so much. It's a bulldozer which is actually removing concrete, and we are replacing concrete with green spaces. And this is one of the directions that every city has to take into consideration. In order to have this implementation phase, we work together with the community to create a peripheral green buffer. We choose the best trees in order to plant them for natural barrier. And we also experimented urban meadow with local biodiversity and resilient native species. But this was actually in order to create community ownership and engagement. So what we have done, it was not about planting, but it is about growing a community because we have activated them through different small events that we have done. For example, we've made an art exhibition, we had a workshop with aromatic plants, we have done eco-education sessions, And actually we have transformed a 600 square meter playground into a space for micro-performance, gatherings, and outdoor learning. And we've done that in this park. This is one of the most vulnerable parks in the city of Iași. And we chose this and we said, if we can manage to transform this park, then the local administration can manage to transform all other parks in the city. And so doing so, we've built long-term resilience for the community, and we have strengthened the neighborhood bonds inside this community. So we are now in the second phase of the implementation phase of our project, and we're working inside of the playgrounds. And I would like to thank you for the architects that are involved here. And we ask them to involve principles of nature-based solutions. And some of the principles of nature-based solutions are related to the reducing of the pollution. So we created, and we're trying to create a peripheral green buffer and a central green island to act as natural barrier for air quality and noise reduction. We want to have thermal comfort and hydration, and that does not exclude artificial shade, because if we're planting a tree right now, it will take years in order to produce shade, unless we can plant a tree which is already 20 years old. Quite impossible to do that. We also try to bring a drinking fountain in order to reduce plastic weight. We proposed, and the architect proposed, nature-inspired play zones. And one of the, let's say, small innovations that we entered in this small playground was artificial hills for exploration and movement, but also for protecting the children from the exterior. Multi-generational community engagement with a community circle where a lot of events can happen, from small events, movie projections, climbing plants, and creating like adaptable functions for the community circle. Also biodiversity and ecological labs, learning about stones, creating like a sensorial path, a lot of microhabitats that we want to introduce inside of this playground. And together with the most important one, ecological materials and heat resilient materials. Because I was telling to you, and this is an important note for all local administration, please don't use recycled black rubber anymore, nowhere, because it will amplify the temperature. Instead of that, there are other materials that are much preferable inside of the playgrounds, but also inside of other urban spaces. We are trying to introduce cork. Cork, it is maybe more expensive, but it is a heat resilient type of material. But there are also other solutions such as sand, grass, mulch, and so on. We're also working on defining the base native and resilient species that are proper for children. In order to do that, we are working with our local administration and public spaces administration in order to change what they are planting inside their labs in order to have this native species introduced in the playgrounds. And of course, our project, it is not about one playground, it is about all playgrounds that we can change together. And it is not about Iași, it is also about other local administrations. And in order to do that, we want to give our project as an example, but we also want to scale our project. In order to do that, we have already created a regeneration guide for playgrounds using nature-based solutions. I will let the link in the chat so everyone can have access to it. But it is not only about writing books, it is also working with local institutions. And maybe some of you know it's not very easy to work with local institutions because they have difficult policies and sometimes it's difficult to replicate. But we're working hand in hand with our local administration, and we're hoping we're in a good direction. We're trying to change the regulation using other standards and other best practices for the city. We're trying to draft a municipal regulation for playground transformation in order to be adopted by the local administration and to have urban houses rather than urban heat islands. One of the best things that we have done is that we have created a living lab ecosystem. So I think we are more than 10 different categories of people in this project, from landscape architects, geographers, climatologists, residents, civic groups, public services. We've created a living lab ecosystem that is working very well and is producing a lot of results. And our project starts to scale to other local communities. So this is also our work in the future. We will train and we will create workshops for other emerging communities that would like to replicate the model in their neighborhoods. It's not necessary to be a public playground, can be private playgrounds. And we already are connected by other private investors to replicate our model. We are also building resources for community engagement. It is called Community Engagement Toolkit, resources and templates for organizing, mobilizing, and sustaining local initiatives. So I'm already at the final of my presentation, but there are some lessons that we have learned through this journey. It is more than 1 year that we are in this project. And one of the lessons that we've learned is that co-creation and this kind of project, it's working only through collaboration. And the collaboration, it's coming from NGOs, from specialists, but all the time with the help of public institutions, because all of these categories are the catalyst for the urban innovation. And what we need now in front of this climate change is urban innovation. Also, we learned that playgrounds, and we have a lot of playgrounds, not only in the city of Iași, but in most of the cities in Romania and all other countries, can become community infrastructure. So they can become, and they have to become, social cohesion hubs. So we see here a huge potential to build community and to increase urban resilience to this kind of regenerating play spaces. So we believe that playgrounds are not only for children, they're also for older people, they're also for people which can interact across generations. So integrating nature-based solutions can create a social cohesion inside of these spaces, can improve the quality of life, also will enhance a better environment for us. But also we've learned that this is the type of climate action that people can see, can feel, and can experience every day. So we've already changed in only 1 year a playground. We have already shade there. We have already a community. And normal people can see, can feel, and can experience these changes. We don't need years and we don't need tens of years to see the climate actions happening. We can intervene right now. And our project actually demonstrates that the adaptation doesn't have to be complex or distant. It can start right now in the small places, in abandoned places, in playgrounds, in our neighborhoods. So why do we think that this project is more about adaptation and mitigation? Because this is also the name of our session. We are tackling the most vulnerable of our citizens, the small ones. We're helping them, we're providing them shadow, we're providing them thermal comfort. And this is more about adaptation. It's about helping older people, the grandparents and the children, to have safer microclimates, to create better heat-resilient infrastructure for them. Of course, it is also about mitigation. It is also about reducing CO2 and planting trees. But we believe that this project is about adapting and mitigation at the same time. So what we hope is that our urban solution to be scalable, and every playground that we have inside of our city and in other cities to become a climate oasis, to multiply the impact across neighborhoods, and also to strengthen the community bonds and to create a better ecological health for our future. And thank you for listening, and we can now start the questions and discussions and so on. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Lucian. We got from the colleagues at DG Regio 1 hour slot, and we managed to finish quite on time. We know some of those connected maybe have to run to other sessions. Like if you have, like, please do so. Those that can stay behind and have questions, just know like that, like we all the presenters will stay behind like a few questions to discuss. So if you have questions, either put them in the chat box. If you're a bit shy and don't want to intervene directly, if you're not shy, you can just like open your camera and microphone, like, and then come in. So over to you, and then Lucian put in the chat also like some additional links to the work they have done on the urban oasis in Iași. So who will be brave and break the ice? Don't be shy, you'll get as a prize maybe a visit to one of the urban oasis sites in Iași, and some palinka with skinduk from me.
I will start visiting all 214 playgrounds again.
And like thinking like a private sector representative, Lucian, like not like civil society representative. Again, like if you want, like you can put the questions in the chat box.
Now one comes, I would like to ask a question to the municipality, to the vice mayor, deputy mayor. Thank you for awesome presentation, and we see that Iași is working very well between the public authorities and also the NGO sector and the private one. My name is Mihai Danciu, I'm an architect, and I was wondering if in Iași, regarding all this, the Iași 2035 initiative that you have, the M100 and so on, do you have any projects for green areas prepared for European financing, you know, for through the regional program, considering this commitment that you have to climate neutrality?
Thank you for the question. Of course, we do have other projects that we are preparing to find some funding for them. We have some surprises. I hope that on the beginning of next year, we can show to our citizens a plan of what the green spaces oasis means for the city. At this point, we have a company who is in charge of all the green spaces in Iași, and basically from our budget, they are preparing to increase our green areas with 42% until the end of 2029. Beside that, of course, that we are eager to see some European funds for this kind of projects, and we are ready to access them. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Juravle. We have like a request for like the guide in English, and then a link to the dashboard. I think the dashboard was already shared by Lucian, but Lucian, you can share it again. You'll really sort of, it's an online tool created by the team, and it's really interesting because it maps the impact of urban overheating on the playgrounds, but you also like can play there with like different indicators. So maybe Lucian, Iar, you shared the dashboard, then maybe like if you would consider translating the guide in English for non-Romanian communities.
Yes, this is our next objective. Our guide is actually adapted to the Romanian context and Eastern European context. For example, we have identified the best plants and the best trees for the urban climate conditions of Romania and Eastern Europe. So it might not fit, for example, other different climate spaces. But for Eastern Europe, it is probably a very good idea to do that. So we will do this this translation into English. There are also other questions that I would like to answer. One of my colleagues from Geography asked us, how can we convince the locals not to drive their children to the playgrounds or parks, but reach there by walking, biking, and taking the buses? My short answer is that most of the playgrounds are within 5 minutes for the local population. Like 80% of the locals of the city of Iași have a playground within the 5 minutes walking distance. So the problem is not that we don't have the infrastructure. The problem is that we need to create the proper infrastructure for this playground. So if we're bringing shadow and if we're changing the way we're seeing the playgrounds, so the people of Iași don't have to use the car in order to reach the best playgrounds, they will walk to the nearest playground. Because nowadays you need maybe half an hour, maybe 1 hour in these days in order to reach the best playground. And a lot of parents are doing so. This is the easiest way to do that. Adrian?
Yeah. Congrats for this tool. It's really useful. And I live on Moara de Vânt, and it's really clear for me that we don't have any playgrounds nearby. So most of the time we have to take the car to go to Copo, for example. But we really don't have any park or community area, because I think we can reconsider even the name of these spaces to community areas, because they don't need to be just only for kids. They can have a play zone for the kids, of course, but we can connect the whole community. So I like the idea from the West with little piazzetas and special zones for communities, not only for the kids. I have a little kid, so it's really hard for me to go to playgrounds, but most of the time, unfortunately, I have to take the car when I go to playground. But even frequent, I put my child on my chest and I go to the forest and I work there, which is really nice, but it's not a playground.
Can I intervene, Marcel?
I think it was
Please.
addressed to
Hello.
you, Mr.
Yeah.
Deputy.
Hello, Daniel.
Hello, Adrian. I saw Adrian with his kid almost every day because we are neighbors, and I can see him. He really goes in the woods, and probably
Yeah.
he's comfortable in that area. But right now, you have less than 600 meters to the new playground from the CA Rossetti. It's 16,000 square meters park. You can go in that park from
And
next
it's
week.
open?
It will be
Okay.
open next week. It will be open next week, and
awesome.
we are trying to find another spot in Moara de Vânt area to build another
Yeah,
playground.
I already identified one.
Okay, good. We can talk. I accept
Mhm.
ideas, and we can talk about this.
Awesome.
We're open
Awesome.
to every ideas. Thank you.
Fantastic,
Okay.
like great, like if we can have another urban oasis spring up like as part of a European week of cities and regions session. There is another question for you, Lucian, on how you managed the, like, or how did you engage with the private sector in the project?
So actually our project is financed by the private sector, is through a community grant offered by one of the banks in Romania, Raiffeisen Communities. It is called the call. We managed to obtain the grant for the first phase and also for the second phase, which is actually quite great. well, actually, we managed to inspire most of the communities, most of the NGOs that applied for this grant, and we thank for this grant. But together in this journey, we also have other private initiatives, and the private sector actually we try to involve it. Trying to transforming them as ambassadors or parents of other green oases. So we're trying to propose like local companies in the city to adopt playgrounds and to invest to create this kind of other playgrounds in the city of Iași. We already have some partners in this project, and the partners came to us. We didn't came to them, but they came to us because we already have a public image, a strong public image, and they want to be associated with sustainable solutions, with climate change, and with innovation. So most of the private companies came to us because saw that we are, even though we have a small project, we're bringing innovation, and they want to be part of this innovation.
Thank you for that. There's Robert is asking on the guide, but like we took the question. Yes, Robert, indeed, they've produced a guide that it's in Romanian right now, but Lucian already promised that they will look into how they can translate it into English. But it synthesizes like the process they went through, like the steps and so on, the thinking. There's a lot of talk on the types of tree vegetation that's more suitable for these spaces, the type of materials, as Lucian mentioned in the presentation. So indeed, like, and maybe you can provide the link to the guide, Lucian, for those that maybe want to do like a quick sort of machine translation. There's a question for Mr. Juravle on the ambitions of the municipality to maybe also create playgrounds for teenagers, young adults, playgrounds with basketball, volleyball fields, and then maybe other sports infrastructure.
Yeah, I saw the question. Thank you, Marcel. Since last week, we start to install basketball panels or basketball tennis, hand tennis tables in some neighborhoods, and I think we have 3 so far, but we are concerned about the fact that many of them are not resisting too much. They are using those playgrounds for other activities, and we have to use the local police to try to show them how to use or tell them, or it's pretty hard for us to invest in this area, but we can think about this because for example in the Copou Park we have 2 areas for teenagers. Also in this CA Rossetti Park we have another playground especially for them. In Alexandru cel Bun neighborhood, we are installing these basketball places, and if the things will change in their behavior probably will continue. But also it's really hard for us to investing in things that basically are getting destroyed in 1 or 2 weeks. We'll see. Thank you for the opinion. It's good for us to know that there is a demand for this kind of playgrounds, and we can continue on thinking and install some of these playgrounds in some neighborhoods in let's say maybe Tătăraș, maybe Copou, just to switch the neighborhoods. Thank you. To see what's going on.
Can you consider to close them, so the area to be closed in the evening, for example, and open in the morning? I
We are
saw that
doing that.
solution in the West.
We are doing that with the local police for 3 or 4 playgrounds. Unfortunately, all the teenagers they find all kind of solutions to go and do other things. At this point, basically, we are trying to digitalize, install all video cameras in all these playgrounds, and to link these cameras directly to the local police space, and to not encourage them to do other activities in those areas.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have a question from the Deputy Mayor of Târgu Secuiesc, a good one. It sort of, I think, relates to how to smartly engage other stakeholders beyond NGOs and the private sector. I think it's addressed both to Lucian on what they've done for the urban oasis, but relates also to the presentation of Mayor Juravle. In Iași, the City Hall is really proactive, smart and innovative in mobilizing different actors. We won't go too much into details, but there's a number of projects from mobilization of private sector NGOs that have transformed the city in the past years. But maybe Lucian, you can quickly discuss how you view sort of like smart, innovative stakeholder engagement approaches in the Urban Oasis project, and then Deputy Mayor Juravle can talk about how Iași is engaging with various stakeholders in the city, because you have many worthy examples. Lucian, maybe over to you first.
Yes, thank you for the question. It's a very good question, and I think it was part of our one of the hardest part of our project is to actively involve the local authorities, because of course there is a need of change of the vision, not of a playground or more playgrounds, but of the vision. And in order to do that, we had a lot of focus groups and workshops, and I would say little trainings with the local division from the green spaces of the local authority. So we worked hand in hand with them, and we easily, step by step, tried to explain how important it is to change the vision from rubber to shadow and greens in the playgrounds and so on. So we're still doing that together with the green spaces community, green spaces sector. We also involved the ones that are taking care of the water, because it is quite difficult to bring water in the playgrounds. So they are partners in our project, and they became involved stakeholders, and they wanted to be part of the project because it's important for them to have a positive image in our project. But one of the lessons that we have learned is that solutions and technical solutions like the dashboard can help local authorities to have a better management on the playgrounds. And they were, one of the things that they were impressed in our project was maybe not about the book that we have wrote, because there's a lot of pages there, but about the dashboard that we have created. And the dashboard they have seen as a very useful tool. So I think digitalization is not only a keyword in this project, it is also a way for the stakeholders and for the local authorities to have a better management, at least for the playgrounds, but not only for the playgrounds, for the green areas and so on. And we have worked together with them in order to better understand how to use these tools. And this is a way we managed to better integrate the local authority in our project and into a better collaboration with them.
Thank you, Lucian. Deputy Mayor Juravle, maybe like on what Iași is doing to mobilize different stakeholders for.
Marcel, we are happy. We are the luckiest one, because the NGO environment is very ambitious in Iași. Somehow we are in a continuous dialogue with them. Basically, when we build our annual budget, they come to us with various ideas, and we try to implement them. There is somehow a trust frame between the City Hall and the civil society. In the same time, we are aware that we have to improve some things in our relation. But as I said, we are the luckiest one here. The City Hall is lucky to have this kind of relation with the NGOs. Not all the time is I don't know, in a peaceful way to say, but all the time is for the good of our city. And I'm trying to improve my relation with them day by day. Even sometimes I have coffees with them to speak directly about our problems. Even if we talk about businesses, academia, or the NGOs. And I think this is the way that the things it's supposed to go on. Otherwise, it will be just a waste of time, and it's not cool for anyone.
I agree, and then it takes the whole community to achieve the development goals of that community. And then I think every local administration should be good, sort of like at knowing how to mobilize the resources and the energy you have within the community. And I think Iași does it very well. Somewhat connected a question for you, Daniel. It's from Marius on if you maybe plan to sort of scale up this project, but also with a focus on marginalized communities, which often are underserved with quality public infrastructure.
Yeah, in the same, I mean, when we talk about our city, we have to talk about the metropolitan area from now on. We cannot say only about Iași. Iași means 500,000 people across 15 kilometers to Iași. And this is something big that we even think about 10 years ago. Our county area has over 1 million people, and our city now has over 500,000 people. We need to build community areas, playgrounds close to these borders between the city and the next local authority from Iași. This concept that we are building, I don't know, a green oasis to close to the city center, and after that we are trying to go in the marginal neighborhoods. It's works really good in Boston, in USA. I saw this model right over there, and basically we are trying to do this thing in Iași also. Next year, we actually, a couple of days ago, we just opened the center park from the Iași City Hall. Next week, we will open the CA Rossetti Park. In 1 month from now on, no, 2 weeks from now on, we go to Bularga neighborhood, which is probably the not the worst neighborhood, but at least with the less infrastructure for citizens. And we are open right over there a new park. Also, in 1 month, we go to Nicolina. We'll open right there on Strada Egalității another park. Another green oasis, actually, because this program started in 2021, and we finalize this project, these projects this year. Also, we need to think about that we have the biggest park after the Copo. It will be in Tătăraș, which is not in the city center. We are working on that. And I think that park is over 50,000 square meters. And it's going to be something wonderful for the city and a huge green space for Tătăraș neighborhood. So it's a work in progress, let's say. But as I said at the beginning, we need to think about from now on as a metropolitan area city with 500,000 people, not with only 398. We need to think metropolitan from now on, and we need an effort also from the public authorities from close to our city.
That's brilliant. We hope like all administrations would think sort of like at that scale, yes, beyond the administrative borders. We'll take one last question. Lucian, you want to intervene, and I'll hand over the mic to you. But maybe for you, Daniel, the last question is like if the administration is planning to continue the expansion of the bike lane system in Iași and then obviously the metropolitan area. Lucian, you can come in, and then Daniel can prepare the last intervention.
I also wanted to answer to Mari's question related to marginalized area, but from another perspective and point of view. Also, as an NGO involved in the NGO, but also in the academia, we work together with the local authority in the Horizon projects. So we, at least me, I've participated to at least 4 calls of Horizons. All of them are into climate change initiatives, and 2 of them are in marginalized areas. And for those who are in Iași, the area that we're trying to produce innovation is Cicoarei district, the Dallas district. And this is another way of how we can intervene in public spaces and marginalized public spaces together with the help of Horizon projects. And this is a very great help from the colleagues from the Northeast region who provide us a lot of useful collaborations in Horizons. So for those who are involved in this kind of competitions, we have to consider very well the Horizons because are very innovative and they are very well funded.
And we hope the colleagues from the Northeast Regional Development Agency will also continue the scale up of the Urban Oasis project. Daniel, the last answer on the bike paths.
I will be fair with you, and I have to say that in Iași we don't have a proper infrastructure for bikes at the moment. Also, I have to be fair with you to tell you that it's a painful thing for me that because I'm aware that we have a big community of bikers in Iași, and from some political reasons, all the things that we think about at one moment about bikes, lanes, and even the discussion that we have with other bikers from Iași didn't go so well. I mean, they go well, but they didn't have like a real thing in the end. The good news is that our colleague from the metropolitan area, from the Metropolitan Association, are working on this, and they actually have finance for a few kilometers of infrastructure close to Iași city. But I will be fair with you to tell that I don't have a solution at this point how we can move on this project. At least I am eager to see finalized the path from agronomie to Tudor Vladimirescu, which means almost 12 kilometers of bikes lane. But I cannot tell you a day when we can finalize this project. All the papers are done. We are trying to find some finances for this project. In the same time, we have some problems with the bureaucracy, with the local police who are in charge of the traffic. But I'm afraid that even if we finalize all this bureaucracy, at the end, we still have the problem with the money. We'll see. I don't have an answer for this, but I think that this has to be the first and the most important next step for the city. And I believe that at one point we'll have a solution for this. Thank you.
That's fair. Thank you so much, Daniel. Step by step, or maybe pedal by pedal in this case, we'll get to Metropolitan Bike Path as well. We're 1 hour and a half in, the usual time you have for these types of interventions. So like we'll maybe close here with many thanks to all of those that have stuck through the end with us. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you, Oana, Daniel, Lucian, for excellent presentations. We've shared the materials. Lucian, it's clear just like maybe interest sort of like to have the materials in English as well. Just for you to keep in mind, because this is the type of project that sort of can inspire others beyond Romania. Thank you kindly. Hope you'll have a day if you're in Brussels with other interesting sessions, and if not, a good day at work. Thank you.
Thank you.